Vacuuming with a happy back. Yes, we are actually going to demonstrate vacuuming for you today. Too many people come into my office hurting themselves vacuuming their house. I see it all the time. People will come in and they'll say, yeah, I messed my back up. What did you do? I vacuumed the house for 2 hours and I did the stairs and the curtains and this and that and carrying the vacuum around. And I hear it a lot, right? So vacuuming is actually a full contact sport. So I'm going to show you vacuuming in a moment, but you have some options. Option number one is don't vacuum. That'd be a nice one, wouldn't it? Or number two, have somebody else do it, okay? One of my staff was really funny when I told them I was going to do this show. She said, well, just let the dust bunnies grow up to a big enough size where they can vacuum for you. And I thought, yeah, that's a great idea. I'll have to tell everybody that one. No, seriously. Couple of rules. Don't rush when you're vacuuming. If you only have this much time to do this much house, don't do it. Second is, of course, break your house up into sections. Don't feel as though you have to do that 2-hour vacuuming marathon. That's a bad idea. Number three, I like this one. If you're a patient of mine, you already know to do those spine stretches. Do them before and after vacuuming. Great idea. It's like doing the spine stretches before and after shoveling outside or garden work and so forth. Okay. Those exercises are on my YouTube page, so go check that out. And last, the vacuuming positions. Let's get into that. The typical vacuuming that we see is like so. And by the way, this is the exact same vacuum that I have in my office, just coincidentally, this is the one in the studio here. Okay? Love this vacuum because it's nice and quiet. Anyway, here's a typical vacuuming position, right? This. And we move it around. And you see what I'm doing here, right? So time and again, I am bending at the waist, at the big hinge right here. And this done 500 times in a vacuuming session is what breaks people. If we can avoid this maneuver, you're all set. I basically have 3 ways that you can do that. One is simply the squat. You get down into a squat position. Separate your feet apart like so, right? And now you just use your arms to move the vacuum around. Okay? The squat. When you move over to another position, there you go. You just get into another squat. And then I'm moving this way, and then you get into another squat, right? So just keep moving around like this. Now during that, you're already noticing that I'm passing this back and forth. I'm a right-hander. The tendency is for right-handers to always do that. What I suggest is do half the time in your left hand. It feels really weird at first, but you'll get used to it over time. So this is the squat. Get in position, squat down. Put the pressure in your legs, take it off the back, and you're avoiding this. So squat, go this way, and then go this way, and then move and do it again. The second is the lunge and fencing position. So as we know from working out, here's a lunge, or here's a fencer, right? Well, instead of using a foil for that, you're going to use your vacuum. So you can get into a lunge position and stick it out like this, you see? Okay. So I can move around, and I can go into a lunge. Isn't this nice? I call this the vacuum dance, right? So last week I was vacuuming in my office, and I was laughing to myself, figuring, I have to show people on a video how to vacuum, because I am lunging like this, and I'm coming over here and lunging like that, and switching my hands and lunging like this, right? All the pressure is in the legs. And if you have a big enough house or place, at the end of this, your legs are going to be tired. Great. But your back won't hurt. Isn't that great? The lunging, the fencer, right? Move it around like this, okay? I bet this video is going to get the most hits of any of my videos that I have so far, right? So there's the fencer, right? The lunge, okay? You can see it's kind of a combination. It's kind of like the squat, but you're just going off to one side, okay? You can move around like this really easily, okay? That's number 2. In a tight space, you have the dancer one, which is number 3. So I have my feet kind of together, but I get down like I'm a dancer, right? Just like a Tony Curtis type of thing. There we go. Okay, so I can sink. I'm basically getting lower. Instead of doing a squat or a lunge, I'm just bending my knees and getting lower. Sometimes that's good when you're in a tight space and you don't have the space to squat or you don't have the space to lunge. Maybe you just have to do this. You see? Okay? And I can do it over this way with the other feet. And again, I was laughing to myself, oh my goodness, look at this. Somebody should be videotaping me in my office while I'm doing this, right? I can go over this way and do it here. So that's the dance or the pirouette type of posture, right? So who thought vacuuming could be fun, right? So in this way, you are avoiding that bending over at the waist. 3 options. 1, squat half the time here, half the time here. Number 2, the lunge. Lunge forward this way. Lunge forward that way. You can see how you can circle around as you're doing these different positions. Lunge this way, and then lunge this way, right? And then number 3 is the dancer, where you just come down with your knees like this, change your feet, and change your hands. It works perfectly like this. And then your back won't hurt anymore. What a lovely thing to do. That's the vacuum dance. That's how you prevent back pain when you're vacuuming. It's the type of work that we don't want to see. These things are preventable. This will be similar to the snow shoveling video, Shoveling Without Injury, that I've done on this show in the past. You can go watch it on my YouTube page. It's the same thing where, even if you're lifting. If you're lifting something, well, I could go back to this vacuum and lift it up like this. Well, that's bad, right? Why don't I get down and lift it like this? Same thing. So it's the same principle, whatever it is, a vacuum, a shovel, a broom, a mop, anything, we need to avoid bending at the waist, keeping our body upright. I hope you enjoyed the vacuuming dance. Please join me again.